How's everybody doing? This is Ruben once again with Philosophy. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you liked any of my past videos, please subscribe to my channel. Like or comment on the video, it'd be greatly appreciated. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and it will really help spread the word and the notice that people are listening and liking this information. Will inspire others to listen to it as well. So subscribe, no more than a click. Today I want to talk about the law and the truth behind it. If you want to be successful, you may read books out there, you may listen to people, you may read articles, you may look at history, or you may listen to your parents, your family members, teachers, etc. Now, for the most part, is the logical way to think about this and how to be successful or how to accomplish anything in your life is by one way, and that's work. Right? By your self efforts, by looking internally, well, not internally, but looking at yourself, being self aware and looking at yourself and feeling and knowing that things happen and your life turns out a certain way because of you. Now, for the most part, whenever you get into, let's say, self-help, or you get into some spirituality and so forth, you're taught that 50% of success or anything you accomplish in life is accomplished by 50% your self efforts and 50% your thoughts, the way you feel. And that is the even more logical way to think about getting things done in your life, or accomplishing goals and so forth, or living the life you want, getting things that you want in this life. Because at the end of the day, we do live in a physical world. So for those people who say, "Oh, well, I'm not interested in money and so forth," well, bottom line, whether the way the system is, it's wrong or right, it's irrelevant. It is what it is right now, so let's make the best of it. And we do live in a physical world where money is required to live. Bottom line. So no matter how spiritual you are, that is a fact. Jesus, when when he talked about, he was at the I believe he was at the temple, and it was during a special time, the Sabbath, I believe. And he went to the temple, and he saw these people selling stuff and working, right, when the Jewish law was to rest that day and not work. But people were trading, and it was at the temple, right? And he got very upset. But one of the acts he did was, he got they asked him about taxes. They told him, well, Rabbi or Master or Jesus, what do you think about taxes? Do you think that us, the Jewish people, should, keep paying the taxes to the Roman Empire? And Jesus grabbed the coin, and he asked them, who is the face on this coin? Whose face is this? And they said, Caesar. And he said, give to Caesar what is to Caesar, and give God what is to God. So even Jesus knew, right, the truth. Like, why? Okay, just, it is what it is. We live in this physical world. We have to pay taxes. Yes, we're interested in spirituality and so forth. But the bottom line is, yes, have a spiritual life, evolve, grow your thinking, whatever. But at the end of the day, there are things that need to be met. You need to pay your mortgage, you need to pay your rent, you need to pay for your necessities, you need to pay for your gasoline, you need to pay your taxes, and so forth. So spirituality and self-help and improving yourself is all good and dandy, but we do live in a physical world. But that's not my talk for today. That's not what I'm trying to portray in this talk. Now, the logical reason on how to achieve your goals throughout history has always been, make things happen. Work, whether you like it or not. Go to work, and you should, bring in some money and grow yourself, right? That is the way to succeed, is work, 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 work. And it's true, but to an extent. Now, in life, there are no limitations but the ones we put on ourselves. We don't achieve certain things or have a certain lifestyle that we may want because of our beliefs. That's the truth. Those limitations are not put in there by anyone or anybody but ourselves. As I talked about, we have 100% in control of our lives. We are in control of our lives. This is why people who are religious to the bone and go to mass, go to church, go to their temples, whatever. As much as religious they are some people who are like religious than anybody, and yet they don't have the life that they want. They are not enjoying their life. They don't have physical possessions. They don't have at least a stable financial life. They don't have the great relationship that they want. They don't have a good, they may have some peace or whatever, but they don't have of what we would call material success. And when you don't have that, it's very hard to inspire someone. Because at the end of the day, as I mentioned, we live in a physical world. Money is required to live. And plus, if you really want to help people, you can't really help someone as much as, a lot if you don't have money. If you don't have money, you really cannot help anyone. You can give them emotional support. Sure, that goes a long way, but really you can't really help them. If you want to change the world, even churches, they have to pay, they have to pay bills. In the States, they're cut off from paying taxes, but they still have to pay light, electricity, water, and food, and so forth. I mean, we live in a physical world, and money is required to live. Whether that system that is in place is right or wrong, as I mentioned, it's irrelevant. Remember what Jesus said: give to Caesar what is to Caesar, and give to God what is to God. So it's irrelevant whether that system is right or wrong. The important thing here is very simple. We have to establish ourselves and to being successful in every way. The best way to help anyone is not by giving them money or giving them material stuff or giving them even emotional support. The best way to help anybody is to inspire them. Is for you to become such a success, such a beacon of light, such a beacon of positivity, of happiness, of peace, that they get so inspired from you that they want to do what it takes to have the feeling you have, to have the things that you want. This is why if you read biographies and autobiographies of super successful people, which I highly recommend, is one thing that you'll notice that is a common denominator with all these people is that from those who started from the bottom, from nothing, they always say and explain in their biographies and autobiographies that, you know, they they met all these people. They started meeting all these people who were super successful, and they saw how they had these wonderful cars, how they had all these great things. They had a great family, and that inspired them to go after what they want, because they got to a point that they got sick and tired of not having it and keep seeing it like being pushed in their face, to the point that they just had to do something about it. In the Bible, the story of David, who killed Goliath, you know, if you read that story, you have to read it in context. When we hear that story, we just hear that David was this really brave person, and he killed Goliath, right? And took the reproach away from the Jewish people at that time, right? We hear about that, but there's the story goes a little bit deeper. If you read the story, it says that David overheard some people talking, and these people were saying, "Hey, whoever kills Goliath or can kill him or get rid of him, one, they'll get the princess of the king, of the current king, and two, they won't have to pay taxes, and I'm sure they'll get a mansion." So he heard that whoever kills Goliath gets the princess, a beautiful young woman, and doesn't get to pay taxes and gets money and so forth. After that, that's when he kills Goliath. See, he got inspired. Not only the inspiration to take away the reproach from Israel, from the Jewish people, but also, hey, we live in a physical world. I get a princess, I get some money, and I don't get to pay taxes. Yes, that inspires me too. Let me go kill this Philistine, right? Which he says. So you have to understand that we live in a physical world, and being spiritual and all this and wanting to help people is a good thing. But I want you to get an understanding that you have to help yourself first. Make sure that you are stable emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Fix yourself first. The best way to help anyone is very simply, by helping yourself. You becoming that beacon of light. You becoming that great inspiration of success. That will inspire people. That will inspire the people close to you. That helps people better than you giving them stuff or doing it for them. Inspiration, that's the best way to help anyone. So, there's a lot of people out there who say, well, I don't focus on myself because I'm focused on helping other people. That's my thing, helping other people. I'm about to step on some toes by saying what I'm about to say, but it's the truth. And you should be open-minded to hearing other people's opinions. So there are people who say, look, my focus is to help other people. Is to help other people. Is to help other people. The truth behind that is that it's really not that they really want to help other people. The truth is that this is unconsciously. They're trying to, to justify themselves for why they are not successful. So if you ever find someone who says, I'm not focused on myself, I'm focused on helping other people, that's my goal. The truth is that that's not their goal. Their goal is they can't face their true self, and they can't face that their belief is that they can't do it. that they cannot be successful. And they get so caught up in that that unconsciously they try to avoid facing that. They try to avoid their flaws and try to avoid fixing themselves. And this is all unconsciously. They're trying to avoid fixing themselves, that they go ahead and try to justify themselves by saying, my focus is to help other people. And they go ahead and help other people. There's nothing wrong with helping other people, don't get me wrong. There's something wrong where you're trying to justify yourself and helping other people. And the funny thing about this is that these people are these people just share that so much and spread that and try to tell as many people as they can that they're here to help people. And that's the truth. That they're trying to justify themselves. They don't want to fix their own problems. They're trying to avoid that. They're trying to cover that by trying to help other people. Okay, there's nothing wrong with helping people. But help yourself first. Make sure you're stable first. When you're in an airplane, very simply, they tell you in case of cabin pressure or loss of pressure or whatever, and the mask come down, make sure to put on your mask on first before helping your children or others. Because if you go ahead and help your child here to put on his or her mask, then you pass out or you go unconscious or something, and what is that small child gonna do? That's why they tell you put on your mask first and then help your child or help another person. And that is success. That is the true way of living. To help yourself. You can do it. You have the ability to change anything in your life and become better. And become a success. Be happy and attain anything and everything you want. You were designed for accomplishment. You can do it. But you've been programmed to think that you're not. And that is the goal of